Everything that happened in the Harry Potter series is on the tip of your tongues, so we won't quiz you on that. But what about the things that happened afterward? All the headcanons and theories gave us a little bit of hope, but the fans are still hungry to learn more about the characters after the war ended. After all, the wizarding world is kind of like Drubal's best blowing gum, it just never seems to lose its flavor. So grab your quills, hit that subscribe button, and let's hop aboard the Hogwarts Express once more to catch up with the gang. Fans tried a lot to get the two oddballs together, but their fates only allowed them to be friends. The cowardly young boy and the one who believed in the unbelievable are both fan favorites. But what became of them after the Battle of Hogwarts? Well, turns out Luna became a magi zoologist at the Ministry of Magic. Her odd love for the magical creatures was never a secret, so I guess we all saw that one coming. But finding new magical species was not the only thing she did at the Ministry. She also found the love of her life, Rolf Scamander, the grandson of Newt Scamander. Everyone expected to see her in the Fantastic Beasts series, but that's not happening anytime soon. At least she got to slap back at everyone at Hogwarts who mocked her. As for Neville, his bragging rights didn't end with his use of the Gryffindor sword. He also got to flex his flashy title of being the head of Gryffindor House, but before that, he was the herbology teacher. Quite the upgrade from Professor Sprout, I might add. Neville's love life turned out pretty great too. He married Hannah Abbott, a Hufflepuff often overlooked in the main story. Interestingly, Hannah went on to become the new landlady of the Leaky Cauldron, where the couple now resides. Their home is always open to the Potters and the Weasleys, making it a warm hub for old friends. Neville's connection to the iconic pub also earned him some serious cool points, adding another layer to his already impressive story. Dementors were essentially the embodiment of despair, draining the joy and hope out of anyone near them. A hauntingly accurate metaphor for depression, crafted by Rowling. Thankfully, they weren't meant to be around for long. In the third part, Prisoner of Azkaban, Sirius tells Harry all about the terrifying situation at the prison, and the guards were none other than the Dementors. With them around, you can bet no one tried to escape. While it was a sneaky tactic to keep the criminals at bay, it was an inhumane one. So when Kingsley became the Minister of Magic, he made sure that the Dementors were fired from their jobs and replaced by better prison guards. While there was sheer joy and bliss all around, it wasn't quite the same with the Dursleys. Petunia and Vernon were soon out of the picture, but Dudley made it a habit to meet up with Harry and his kids. It started with playdates for their children, and ended up becoming an excuse to meet up for family dinners and send greeting cards. Although we are pretty sure Harry preferred the good old Christmas dinner at the Weasleys. This one's a big one. You see, Harry and Ron were never big fans of books and studying, so they ditched studying at Hogwarts and took up the positions of Aurors in the Ministry of Magic. Just because Voldemort was turned to dust doesn't mean there weren't other bad guys around. Plus, a lot of Death Eaters fled the moment things turned downhill during the Battle of Hogwarts, so they needed to be tracked down and dealt with. And who better to do that than the Chosen One and his sidekick? But after the immediate cleanup was done, the duo parted ways. Ron teamed up with George at Weasley's Wizard Wheezes because, let's face it, there's gotta be at least two Weasleys running the shop, right? That one always stings a little. Surprisingly, or maybe not, the shop thrived, reaching new heights once the brothers got it back on track. On the bright side, Ron doesn't need his brother's discount anymore. Harry went on to become the head of the Aurors and continued to be the everlasting hero among the kids. He can't speak Parseltongue anymore though. That part of him died along with the Horcrux in him. We're sure he's glad about it though. One more fun fact about him, he never let go of the Marauders map. Though rumor has it, James might have swiped it from his drawer one day. As for Hermione, it is no surprise she went back to school. She graduated alongside Luna and Ginny, proving once again that she never leaves a goal unfinished. Before that though, she lifted the memory spell she had cast on her parents, because if anyone could reverse such magic, it's Hermione Granger. Later, she joined the Ministry of Magic, eventually rising to the position of Minister. Her influence wasn't limited to the wizarding world either. During her tenure, she championed laws protecting house elves and worked to end the oppression of muggles, leaving an enduring legacy of justice and equality. Hermione orders you to subscribe. Do it right now, or prepare for an endless lecture on the importance of magical education and sticking to deadlines. Your choice. Remember how excited Harry and Ron were when they first saw chocolate frogs? Who's breaking the news to their younger selves that they'd one day be featured on chocolate frog cards? All three, Ron, Harry, and Hermione, earned this sweet, sweet honor. But let's be real, we all know who's the most thrilled about nailing this achievement. Hint, hint, he's probably practicing his card pose as we speak. Hogwarts saw a boatload of crazy stuff go down for a long time. And we have Harry to blame for a big part of it. But we also have him to thank for getting rid of all the wild things too. So when the Battle of Hogwarts ended, it was time to turn over the page and start a new chapter for the school. All the rubble and dirt were cleaned, wiped, and swept. Obviously, it took a lot of time, and Filch was put in charge of the cleaning duty. But he didn't do it with a happy face. Having Peeves around the school probably did not help much either with the cleaning. You can count on Mrs. Norris, though, to help Filch out with some of the cleaning duties. As for the new headmaster position, Professor McGonagall took that job quite happily and brought Hogwarts back to its prime. That's not all. You remember how the portraits of old headmasters were put on the walls inside Hogwarts? McGonagall made sure to do the same for Dumbledore and Snape. The two former educators were given the credits they deserved. They each got a portrait on the wall, but the same praise was not given by everyone in the magical community. Rita Skeeter hated the guts of both of them, but who did she like anyway? Apparently, she wrote insulting biographies on both the former headmasters of Hogwarts. The titles were The Life and Lies of Albus Dumbledore and Snape, Scoundrel or Saint. It got attention, alright, but it wasn't good attention. Umbridge was a dark wizard who liked pink. That statement alone speaks volumes about this witch. Frankly, we all started hating the color pink, thanks to this real pain of a woman. But she got what she deserved. Finally, right when the Second Wizarding War ended, she was sent to Azkaban to spend the rest of her miserable days right there. Although, we believe that's probably not good enough of a sentence for what she did to Harry and the others at Hogwarts, along with the unnecessary torture she put the Muggles through. If you ask us, Dementors should be called back to Azkaban, but for her and her prison cell only. The Quidditch World Cup of 1994 was a terrible thing for the Ministry of Magic to recover from. So, after the Battle of Hogwarts, they had to bring in the big guns to take every possible security measure for the next World Cup. The tournament went smoothly, and Malawi got to leave there as the new champions. Talking about Quidditch, there are a few big names that we've got to mention before we get on with our list. Let's kick it off with Oliver Wood, the captain who simply wanted to win. This guy went on to become the keeper of the Puddlemore United, a pretty famous and successful team in the British and Irish Quidditch League. Then we have Ginny Weasley, a badass Quidditch player. If you don't know about it, you'll have to read the books. But she kept true to her skills as a chaser and joined the Holy Head Harpies after her graduation from Hogwarts. She didn't stop there though. After retiring from the field, she went on to take up the job of Quidditch commentator. Whether or not she was as good as Lee Jordan is a big question, but she was decent enough to climb to the ranks and eventually become the sports editor for the Daily Prophet newspaper. Last up, we've got Harry. He never played Quidditch publicly or professionally. We're just guessing he was probably done with all the attention. But he definitely played at home with Ginny and the kids. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten about the Malfoys. After the Battle of Hogwarts, Draco and his parents fled the scene. Narcissa and Lucius helped out the Ministry of Magic by telling them all the secrets of the Death Eaters at large. This kept them out of Azkaban and allowed Draco to live the life he wanted in peace. But it didn't turn them into good people overnight. They definitely liked their status as purebloods and preferred keeping their noses high. It wasn't the same for Draco though. He married Astoria Greengrass and had a son named Scorpius. Draco went on to become the father he never had. He didn't work a lot since his generational wealth was there to keep him and his family fed for years, but he did spend his free time taking care of his son and managing his family business from time to time. According to the Cursed Child, a lot of things happen with the Malfoys and the Potters, but we're not sure you guys will be happy if we quote them here. Hogwarts didn't lose all those good things. Hagrid is still there as gamekeeper of the school's grounds and the professor of care of magical creatures. He still cooks just as badly as he did before, but now the new trio has to put on happy faces while eating at tea time with Hagrid. The Weasleys are still at the Burrow, but Arthur got a promotion after the Battle of Hogwarts. Molly still feeds Harry and her 12 grandchildren until they're lying down in a food coma. Safe to say, they all come around to meet every now and then, cherishing the memories of those who have left and making new ones with those who survived. Chaos never left the Burrow, though. That's all for the events that took place after Harry Potter ended. Which of these events was your favorite? Would you like to change anything? What other headcanons do you have for Hogwarts and your favorite wizards? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thanks for watching, and keep on seeing the magic all around you. I'll catch you next time.